6 important supply chain drivers. The framework provided by supply chain drivers is useful when analyzing supply chain capabilities. The balance of responsiveness and efficiency that a supply chain can accomplish will depend on decisions made by how each driver conducts. Your choices on the 6 supply chain drivers will influence the supply chain capabilities. Depending on the shifting needs of the business, each of these drivers can be built by managed to priority responses or efficiency. You learn about the expectation a supply chain must meet and the skills it needs to succeed as you study how it operates. If necessary, change the supply chain drivers to achieve such capabilities. Increased supply chain profits are achieved through the application of logistical drivers. Logistical drivers are quite significant. Cross-functional drivers, on the other hand, are becoming more and more significant in boosting supply chain surplus. However, the drivers never behave on their own. To access the performance of supply chain, they interact with one another. The supply chain's drivers can be classified into 2 broad categories: A. Logistical drivers, B. Cross-functional drivers. Logistical drivers. Number 1. Facilities. The physical places where the purchased product is kept in the first physical facility in the supply chain network. This location can be either the first production site or second storage location type. The performance of supply chain is thought to be significantly influenced by the decisions regarding location as well as that location's capacity and capability, which can have both positive and negative effects. For instance, fast food franchisees use location to open a large number of stores in high volume regions to be particularly responsive to their customers. Operating from a small number of locations and centralized tasks in busy areas will increase efficiency. As an illustration, consider how e-commerce businesses serve vast geographic markets from a smaller number of key locations. Second, inventory. A supply chain inventory consists of different kinds of raw material and finished commodities. Management creates inventory assets, reports both internally and externally. Since changing inventory policies can also significantly affect the effectiveness of accountability of the supply chain, it is seen to be particularly sensitive. Many retail organizations are working hard on new products, consumer needs, and delivery speed instead of maintaining a high quality of inventory. For instance, a cloth retailer can increase its responsiveness by keeping a lot of products on hand and meeting demands from that inventory. Third, transportation. In supply chain, the transporters move the inventory from point A to point B. Or transport utilizes a variety of routes and modes, each with unique performance requirements such as full truck, courier, part load, quick mode, etc. Supply chain's accountability and effectiveness are greatly impacted by the choices made about transportation. For example, a logistics company that desires the greatest service might transfer a product quickly. Making the supply chain more responsive is one example. However, it is not regarded as efficient because the fast mode is expensive. Fourth, information. Data on all sorts of facilities, inventory, transportation, costs, prices, and clients throughout the supply chain are analyzed. The supply chain's main role and likely biggest performance driver is information, because all other drivers might be impacted if it didn't function properly directly. Information gives management the chance to improve any company's sensitivity and efficiency in addition to the supply chain. For example, many businesses now have access to greater information that allows them to balance supply and demand as well as production and distribution. Fifth, sourcing. Without effective sourcing, any organization won't carry out any specific supply chain management task like production, storage, or shipping. Strategic level sourcing decisions affect the supply chain's accountability and efficiency by determining what a company does, what it wants to do, and what it sources to do. The business should work to keep its facilities efficient while making its manufacturing facilities extremely sensitive in high-cost locales. You should be aware that the cost of goods sold accounts for sourcing cost. Additionally, the funds paid to vendors are listed under accounts payable. Sourcing is the entire set of business processes required to purchase goods and services. Sixth, pricing. Pricing as a driver identifies the price that a company should or will charge for the product and services it will offer along the supply chain. Pricing has an impact on consumers' behavior, which has an impact on demand and supply chain efficiency. For example, if a transportation company charges differently depending on the lead time supplied by clients, price-sensitive consumers will likely place order fast. Customers who are patient will be prepared to order just before. Customers who value accountability are provided with it through pricing, while customers who do not value accountability as highly can benefit from cheaper expenses. So to conclude, to determine the performance of supply chain, factors such as facility, inventory, transportation, sourcing, information and pricing interact. Depending on your company, the financial objectives, companies can design and manage these drivers to highlight the optimal balance between responsiveness and efficiency. Therefore, to maintain this balance, a company must assess the performance of supply chain's drivers, because doing so will also enable it to determine how and when it has achieved the strategic fit.